Hello everyone, this is Tammy and I'm going to do a brief tutorial on creating a simple budget using Microsoft Excel. I typically use Excel daily at work to organize data and run complex calculations, but at home I use it to manage my budget. So in this case, I just want to run a tutorial on the simplest of budgets. So let's go ahead and get started. To access Excel, we go to the Start button, and from there we select Microsoft Excel by double-clicking on it. It will open up a Excel spreadsheet. Let's open it all the way up. Once opened, we see that each sheet consists of numbered rows and lettered or alphabetical columns that run from the left side of the sheet to the right side. And actually, if you scroll over, once you get to the end of the alphabet, it starts again, but it doubles up the letters. If you go to the bottom of the page, you'll see that there are 3 tabs, and each tab is a new blank spreadsheet. If you need more than the 3 spreadsheets that they provided, you will click on this little button here with this icon on it to insert a new worksheet, and there you'll have worksheet 4. Let's work with worksheet 1. We're going to double click on sheet 1 and type over it. In this case, we'll label this particular spreadsheet as budget. I'll go to cell column A, row 1, and go ahead and put in the month that we're working with, October. And 2 rows down, I'll go ahead and I'll put in monthly income. If you notice, the text that I just typed in overlaps into 2 cells. To fix that, I would go up to the top of the column and double click, and it'll open it up so that the text fits into the 1 cell and there's no overlapping. So monthly income, let's just say, and these are all, hypothetical numbers. We'll go with $4,000 because it's a nice round number for the month. We'll go ahead and start inputting our expenses. Okay, in this column, I'm going to put in the different labels for the categories, and in column B, I'll go ahead and put in the value, or the cost value of related to each one of those categories that we were placing in column A. So our expenses are going to be here. The greatest expense that we have, our monthly rent and mortgage typically take up the most of our monthly income. I'll go ahead and I'll say $1,400. I guess that's around for the typical 2-bedroom apartment or 1-bedroom apartment in New York, depending on where you live. Next, I'll go ahead and input transportation, and if you live in New York City and you don't own a car, it's going to be about $112 for an unlimited Metro card. I'm going to put a formula in here because we have a tendency to sometimes take cabs in New York. To put a formula in, I'm going to put in the equal sign, $112 for the unlimited monthly Metro card, plus let's just say $50 for miscellaneous cab rides throughout the month of October. And then I'm going to hit enter. Now, once you put equal into any cell, it automatically tells the program that we want it to run a calculation. So in this case, it was a simple addition of adding 112 plus the 50, and you get $162. Next, we'll input our food expenses, and I'll say about $450 for a single person in New York, and that would probably include grocery and eating out. It might run a little bit more, it might run a little bit less, but this is just for instructional purposes. We're putting in $450 for a monthly food bill of $450. Next, I'm going to put in utilities, which is usually comprised of your phone, gas, cable, electricity. Again, I'm going to put another formula in here, so that saves me time from having to list each one of the utilities and then putting in a value for them and then running the numbers that way. I could simply put a formula in and it'll calculate it for me. So for phone, let's just say it's $87, plus gas is about $20, plus I'd say cable is about $100, and electricity, let's just say it's $75. You hit enter and it runs a calculation. You can actually look up here in the formula bar and you can see all the numbers that you entered in, and that's the total of that simple addition. Let's put in I guess credit accounts, and this would, I guess, include, revolving credit cards, store credit cards, maybe student loans, and any other credit accounts that someone might have. Let's just put in $250 for a monthly expense there. Then we'll put in health, medical, gym. This is personal. Again, let me just open up this column. I'll put in, $30. I don't think that's necessarily a realistic number, but that's the number that we're going to use for this purpose. Then entertainment. I think, again, I'm going to put in another formula, simple addition. Movies, I think nowadays are about $12.50, plus I guess popcorn about $40, and say another $25 if you want to grab a bite to eat afterwards, as an individual. And let's just say that we do that twice a month. So I'm going to put parentheses around these numbers and multiply that by 2, and that's $83 a month on entertainment. I'm going to add category for miscellaneous items because things happen, and sometimes we have to dig into our pockets for additional funds. I'll just say $100, or let's just say $75 for miscellaneous expenses that just happen to come up. So we're going to total all of this, and I'm going to put in a different formula for this. I'm just going to do a sum total instead of an individual add. So again, we put in the equal sign, which indicates to the program that I'm about to run a calculation. I put in open parentheses. I select the start where I want, what I want to calculate, and I'm going to left click on my mouse and pull this this highlighted indicator down to include all the numbers that I want included in this calculation. Close the parentheses and hit. That didn't come out right. Oh, I forgot to put in the command, which is I wanted to sum it now. So that's 2732. So if this person has, so then we're going to put in the balance after expenses. So which is the difference, your balance is the difference between your income and of course your expenses. So I'm going to put another formula in here, equals income minus expenses, and hit enter, and this person is left over with $1,268. So actually it's a little bit confusing when there are no commas in there. So I'm going to highlight this column and I'm going to go to my toolbar up here. I'm going to select comma, and I really don't need the zeros in there, so I'm going to decrease my decimals, and so that's easier to read. When you print this, you're not going to see the grid lines in there. So to make it easier, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually add some grid lines to this. So I'm going to highlight the section that I want to modify with grid lines, and I'm going to again go up to my toolbar, and there is a border icon right here. I'm going to select from the drop down, and I'm going to indicate all borders. So as you can see, it puts in the grid lines. You could actually change the color of the grid lines if you'd like, by going down to line color, and you can select it from here if you want blue, pink, whatever color you choose. Let's go ahead and just choose blue. Actually, that didn't do it the way that I wanted it to. And you can, it gives me a pencil that I can actually highlight it. That's not really what I wanted to do. I actually wanted to go into more borders and choose from here. And let's choose this line style, and this is the all border inside, and then hit OK, and then my lines will be blue. Now for my outer border, I'm going to highlight, and I'm going to just select a thick box border in black. Actually in black. And I'm going to go back into more borders, and I'm going to choose automatic because I want it all in black. I want this thick border, and I want the outline of it in black, and I hit OK. You could also insert colors to separate rows. Again, you go to the toolbar and you can fill with whatever color you choose. So all in all, this is really a just very simple budget. The budgets that I use span the entire year. As a matter of fact, it takes up two, sometimes 3 years. I do a lot of forecasting at work, and so we do we monitor things from year to year. So again, for this purpose, I hope that you understand the basics of just creating a simple budget in Excel. Thank you.